meeting of the Aurora Board of Education is called to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mr. Acom?
Here.
Mrs. Schneider?
Here.
Mrs. Click?
Here.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Here.
Mr. Sobolski?
Here.
All right, we begin tonight's meeting with special reports and recognitions. I invite Mr. Tom Marshall and Mr. Jared Hostetler to go up to the podium. Oh, you're already there. And welcome you to recognize our American Legion contest winners.
I'm Tom Marshall, I'm the commander of the American Legion Field State West Aurora. Jared Hostetler, first vice commander.
Oh, well, yeah, let's make sure we get that on. So everybody can hear you.
I don't talk loud
There we
anyway.
go.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm Tom Marshall, Jared Hostetler, American Legion. We're here to present the winners of the A&G test and the fourth grade flag test that was taken this year by students. Jared's going to do the A&G test, so I'm going to present the fourth grade flag test. So this is going to be quick. So, Jared.
Good evening. The Americanism and Government Program tests students' knowledge of the U.S. Constitution and the government at the federal, state, county, and city level. Dr. Ashley Patch and social studies teacher Mr. Chris Radke assisted us in generating interest in the test and enabled us to give the test to 50 students. The test consists of 50 questions plus one essay question. The test is offered to students in grades 10 through 12 with a boy and girl winner from each grade. Each winner will tonight receive a certificate noting their achievements and a gift card for $50. The winner's information will then be forwarded to district, which represents all 14 American Legion posts in Portage County for the next level of judging. The students with the highest scores in the district are then judged at the state level and then at the national level. Presentation. First, our sophomore winners, Xander Connell and Tallulah Mackey. Come on up, please. Is anyone taking pictures? Okay. Our junior winners, Benjamin Kecken and Morgan Grace Savage. And finally, our senior winners, Chris Savakis and Cameron Taylor.
Looks like we had some conflicts for the seniors, so they're not here this evening.
Okay.
Okay, the fourth grade flag education program is new this year. The American Legion's had it for a while, but we were short man, so we finally got it in the program this year. But it tests the students' knowledge of U.S. flag's history, its proper care, display etiquette, and proper retirement of worn flags. The test consists of 20 multiple choice questions and an essay question. Lighton Elementary School Principal Spencer Waters and Assistant Principal Jeff Morris enabled us to have the test taken by 175 Aurora fourth graders. Boy and girls winners from each of the 10 classes were identified, and the winners were given individual certificates of achievement and $10 gift cards last Tuesday. Tonight, the overall top boy and girl winner will receive an additional certificate of achievement for $25. The winner's information will be forwarded to the district for the next level of judging. Student with the highest scores will then be judged at the state level. So this year's winners were Malcolm Lewis and Gracie Jones. Would you please come forward? I don't know who was excited, the fourth graders or me, but when all 20 of them got their certificates and gift cards last Tuesday, you should have seen the grins on their faces. It was just great. We also have certificates of participation for Lighton Elementary School and Aurora High School. So Ashley, you can have this one, and we'll get more in the other one. Okay, so one group picture, and then you done?
All right, now I invite Mr. Jim Montequilla to the podium as he recognizes Dr. Gretchen Jessel for a successful grant application.
I'm Jim Montequilla, and I'm here tonight representing the Portage County Retired Teachers Association. We're a group of over 300 retired educators from throughout Portage County that are still giving back to the students and the teachers of the county. In 1992, we began a program giving out scholarships to young people from Portage County who are going to be going into education to become teachers. And we've continued that program up through to today. And in fact, in a couple weeks, I'll be out to all the schools promoting our scholarships. We give out $2,500 scholarships to young kids going into education. But 7 years ago, our members said, why aren't we doing more for the teachers? And so we began a teacher grant program. And our teacher grants are $500, and therefore money for programs that teachers just don't have the funds to make happen. Well, tonight I'm here to present one of our $500 teacher grants to one of your teachers who is doing this in repeat fashion. We gave her one last year also. So this grant this year is to Gretchen Giselle, and her grant is for all abilities, all play, strength and motion, adaptive PE for Aurora schools. She provides innovative equipment that transforms traditional PE into inclusive, engaging, and imaginative experiences for all learners. So tonight I'd like to present a certificate to her for getting this grant. And after I do that, I'm giving the money to the treasurer, not to her tonight, to be spent on all this equipment to aid the students of Portage County and Aurora schools here. So Gretchen, if you'd come forward. Oh, okay. Did you get my bald head? And I'd like to give the check to the treasurer.
Thank you very much. And yes, if anybody would like to leave, now would be a good time to do
Now's your
that.
chance.
Yeah.
In a second.
you. Okay, we'll move on to the approval of, oh, yeah, we don't have anybody, no speakers, so.
No public.
Approval of minutes for the regular meeting of November 24th. May I have a motion, please?
Second.
Are there any comments or edits to those minutes? Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mr. Sobolski?
Yes.
Mrs. Click? Yes. Mrs. Schneider? Yes. Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes.
Mr. Akam?
Yes.
Minutes are approved as written, and now we will move on to the Assistant Superintendent report. Is that the order?
No, we're going to actually go to the superintendent's report, which I'm going to cede my
okay,
time to our Director of Pupil Services, Mike Maglianico, and AHS AP and 6 through 12 Special Services Coordinator, Victor Torres, and then we'll go on to Mr. Hayes' report and Mr. Schiraldi's. So gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Mr. Hayes, can you click on the Pupil Services update link, please? Awesome, thank you. Good evening, President Mahalis, members of the board, and Dr. Milsitich. Thank you for the opportunity for us to share tonight's Pupil Services update, focusing on our district's results from the 2025 Ohio Special Education Annual Rating. This rating, based on our 2023-24 data, is the state's most comprehensive review of special education systems. It reviews everything from compliance to timelines to graduation outcomes, transition plans, and equity indicators. We are proud to share that Aurora earned a meets requirements designation, the highest rating awarded, reflecting the expertise and dedication of staff and dedication our staff brings to supporting students with disabilities every day. Why does this matter? This rating affirms something we believe deeply in Aurora, that belonging, dignity, access, and opportunity are not just ideals, they are daily commitments that guide how we serve every learner. The state's rating confirms that our systems are not only compliant, they are student-centered, process-driven, and effective, ensuring our students receive both timely assessments and meaningful outcomes. One of the foundational areas reviewed in the state's annual rating is preschool transitions, specifically how effectively districts support children moving from early intervention to preschool services. This year, Aurora demonstrated exceptional performance. We developed 14 IEPs for children transitioning from early intervention, and 100% of these transitions were completed on or before each child's third birthday. This level of compliance reflects far more than timely paperwork. It represents strong collaboration with early intervention service coordinators, proactive scheduling and communication among preschool stakeholders, and comprehensive assessments that ensure children enter preschool with the correct supports and services in place. Ensuring seamless transitions at this early stage lays the groundwork for students' long-term success, both academically and developmentally. Another essential component of the state's evaluation system is the timeliness of initial special education evaluations, which must be completed within 60 days of parental consent. Aurora achieved 100% completion of all 48 initial evaluations within the required timeline. This accomplishment demonstrates a high level of organizational precision and teamwork. Achieving 100% timeliness requires careful tracking and monitoring of each evaluation, consistent communication with families, coordinated scheduling for assessments across multiple professionals, and a commitment to accuracy and quality. This performance affirms that Aurora is meeting and exceeding the state expectations for both procedural compliance and student-centered practices. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Coordinator of Special Services, Mr. Victor Torres, to talk a little bit about transition planning.
Thanks, Mike. One of Aurora's long-standing strengths is secondary transition planning. The intentional work of preparing students ages 14 and older for life after high school. The state evaluates transition plans for measurable goals, alignment to student interest, coordination with agencies such as the Portage County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and opportunities for Ohioans with disabilities, and meaningful preparation for post-secondary education, employment, and independent living. This year, Aurora achieved 100% compliance on all 81 transition plans reviewed. This outcome reflects a system that is not only compliant, but deeply committed to helping students discover and pursue their future paths. Some of the key elements that contributed to this success include individualized transition assessments to identify each child's PINs. So when I mention PINs, that's each student's preferences, interests, needs, and strengths. Career exploration opportunities, including vocational programming, work-based learning, and community partnerships through the Aurora Work Ready program that we have at the high school. Collaboration with outside agencies such as OOD and adult service providers. Close teamwork to ensure plans are meaningful and actionable. The premise here is that our kids aren't just checking boxes, but we're doing everything that we can in our classrooms to make sure that our kids are future ready by the time that they leave us. This is something we're really proud of. This is our student outcome data for graduation and dropout success. This reflects that we're not just compliant from a procedural perspective, but the lived experiences and success of our students as well. 91% of our students with disabilities earned a regular diploma. This significantly exceeds the state target of 66%. This accomplishment demonstrates a couple different things. Effective intervention systems that identify needs early and provides targeted support. Strong instructional practices that ensure access to rigorous curriculum, such as UDL. Meaningful relationships with students and families, ensuring that they remain engaged and connected through their high school journey. Aurora's dropout rate for students with disabilities was just at 2.9%, which is far below the state threshold of 18%. So this speaks to a couple different things. Number one, the robust counseling and mental health supports that respond quickly when students show signs of disengagement. Collaborative monitoring among counselors, administrators, psychologists, and teachers. This is done not just from a district perspective, but within each of our buildings as well. And then a district-wide belief that every student can succeed, paired with systems designed to ensure that they do so. These results highlight that our students are just not remaining in school, but they're taking advantage of every opportunity presented to them, and they're thriving. Disproportionality and equity. Aurora also received a MET rating for disproportionality representation, an area that evaluates whether certain racial or ethnic groups are over-identified for special education services. Our risk ratio is at 2.5, meaning the district is not disproportionately identifying students from any subgroup. This reflects a few things. One, thoughtful and data-informed decision-making through the evaluation process, which is universal K-12. High-quality, multi-tiered systems of support, and consistency across buildings and eligibility decision-making. This ensures students are identified appropriately and receive the right supports at the right time. And this is grounded in our PLCs within our buildings as well as district-wide. I'm going to transfer it back over to Mike for closing comments.
So as we reflect on this year's results, it becomes clear that our meets requirements designation is much more than technical access or technical success. It is a celebration of the people, systems, and values that define the Aurora City School District. This achievement reflects excellence across every level of service delivery, from early childhood through graduation. a deeply embedded culture of collaboration, commitment to inclusive excellence, ensuring every student feels a sense of belonging and has access to high-quality instruction, and strong communication and partnerships with families. This recognition is a testament to the collective effort of our educators, our administrators, support staff, families, and most importantly, our students, whose resilience and achievements inspire us every day. We'd like to send a thank you to the board, our district leadership team, and our entire Aurora community for your support. We are incredibly proud of this rating and even more proud of the team who has made this possible. So that concludes our report. If you guys have any questions, we're more than happy to answer.
I don't have a question, just congratulations on the recognition, and I think you're right, it does show that our entire staff is supporting our students with disabilities, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions?
All right, thank you, gentlemen. You can bring that, to Mr. Hayes. Nice job. Good job.
Now to Mr. Hayes. Okay.
All right, thank you to Mrs. Mahalis, the rest of the board. What we'd like to focus on this month is giving the Board of Education an update regarding one of our district goals that we developed over the course of the past year and presented to the Board of Education at the outset of the school year. If you guys recall, we had 5 domains associated with our district goals, and one of those focused exclusively on our leadership team. And so today, what I want to do is focus on the ongoing commitment to achieving that goal of fostering a culture of collaboration and innovation within our leadership team. And everything you're going to see today is measurable evidence of our actions and directly aligns with our green standard of continuous growth, improvement, and transparency. We're achieving this by a few different ways, really providing ongoing job-embedded PD for administrators and establishing structured monthly communication and meeting forums to drive continuous improvement. So with that, I want to kind of jump into it. I provided a more extensive overview in your packets, but I'm just going to kind of hit a few different areas here. So beginning with the establishment of our cabinet, and that's under the leadership of Dr. Milsitich. The cabinet includes Dr. Milsitich, myself, Mr. Maglianico, Mr. Schiraldi, and Mr. Arquilla. And with this cabinet, we've set up structured weekly meetings, and this is foundational. This is a foundational move to ensure superior executive leadership, immediate collaboration on district goals, and continuous alignment, which is especially critical for several people being new in their positions. And honestly, it's been fantastic to have that forum for collaboration where we've been able to really streamline our operational efficiency. Speaking of operational efficiency, we've also instituted what we're calling Tech Tuesdays. And this is a dedicated forum ensuring that our technology planning is fully aligned with our instructional and administrative goals, proactively enabling responsive action plans. And this is basically where Dr. Milsitich and myself meet with our members of our technology team, which is really 3 people, and it's been especially important this past year where our network operations manager, who we had for over a decade, moved to Colorado, so we've had somebody new in that position. So again, when we're having new people in new roles, it's been really important to be on the same page with everything. And then the last thing I'll just touch upon briefly in this regard is the Superintendent's Advisory Council, which Mike Roberto has had over the past several years, and Dr. Milsitich has continued that. But what that does is it provides monthly evening sessions for students, staff, and community stakeholders. This drives trust and support while elevating transparency regarding our responsible decision-making processes, and particularly the last month we focused exclusively on budgetary management, connection to property taxes, and how it impacts schools. Mr. Schiraldi gave a really great presentation in tandem with Dr. Milsitich. Before that, we were able to have stakeholder engagement on things like development of the calendar, had the group look at our building, or excuse me, our district goals, to be able to give feedback on those regards and know where the school stands in terms of their future focus. So just hearing a couple of those things, want to pause if there's any questions about any of those few domains. Okay, so want to move into is kind of some of the more individualized aspects. So we've made a strategic investment in our new head principals, Dr. Ashley Patch and Mr. Spencer Warders, through dedicated bi-weekly coaching meetings. This sustained job-embedded support is designed to accelerate positive school transformation and fortify the stability of our entire system. We want our principals to be supported day in and day out, both from a leadership perspective, also an operational efficiency perspective. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know, and having a forum to connect and reflect is essential to drive positive processes in our buildings. That being said, we're not only investing in our head principals, we have a 6-part assistant principal PLC, again, PLC standing for Professional Learning Community. This series is focused on empowering our veteran assistant principals like Mr. Torres, like Mr. Baker, Mr. Morris, Mr. Rothstein, or Dr. Rothstein at the middle school, and we want them to have an intentional forum to be thoughtful leaders. It's a key forum for connection, reflection, and ensuring they are creating and sustaining proactive and purposeful leadership in their buildings. We just had one of those meetings this afternoon. It was really impactful. One other area that we've developed this year is having our entire leadership team go through a 6-part Clifton Strengths training series, which the entire administrative team, including all principals, assistant principals, and instructional coaches were a part of. They engaged in metacognitive and reflective activities. They moved from initial self-reflection to actively role-playing and applying their diverse strengths to navigate leadership challenges, ensuring they're equipped for collective success and enhanced leadership presence. So basically, they're getting to understand, hey, where do our strengths lie? How can I leverage my particular strengths in not only a personal aspect, but while working with a great deal of teams, whether it's other leaders in their building, other teachers, other students. And so those have been really impactful. And ultimately, this growth process directly feeds into our efforts to unify instruction while having people who want to continuously grow and get better. So when we talk about Aurora learners being future ready, that's not just our students, it's our leadership team as well. So just hearing some of those aspects, any thoughts or questions?
No, I think
Okay.
it's great, though, all these meetings. I don't know how you have time for all these meetings. But
It's busy.
It's good.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
It's good.
So moving forward a little bit here, kind of looking at the idea of instructional cohesion, we've established tri-weekly leadership team meetings that Dr. Milsitich and I facilitate. This is an intentional forum for all administrators and instructional coaches to connect. Creates a powerful unified engine for continuous instructional improvement while also ensuring our building level initiatives align well with overarching district or building goals as well as state mandates. So, you know, when we had to approve a bunch of different board policies, we're able to use some of those meetings to have a forum for teams to come together to make sure, hey, are our policies at the building level aligned? Are we looking at how we're operating from, you know, this building to this building, making sure there's consistency in practice while also having a forum to continue to grow as learners as well. And then this trickles down to site-based leadership. So complemented by these meetings, we're always trying to empower our principals to lead in their respective buildings through really what we're calling monthly instructional leadership meetings as well as their staff meetings. And so this is a powerful shift towards dispositional site-based leadership, maximizing collaboration, accelerating best practices, which directly impacts our classroom excellence. And then on a more of a compliance aspect, we're proactively reinforcing our commitment to equity with significantly expanded Title IX training. So, for example, we have several people who've been trained in Title IX, including Dr. Milsitich, myself, Mr. Maglianico. We just recently had Mr. Baker attend. Mr. Waters is Title IX trained. And so what we're doing is our goal is to have all administrators formally trained by the end of 2026, which is substantially reducing our institutional liability and ensuring all students are fully protected. And then along those compliance-based lines and from more of a safety and risk mitigation, we've also mandated reasonable suspicion training for all administrators and head custodians. And this is something that a lot of our legal updates have advised school districts to have everybody trained in reasonable suspicion. And that's usually been really regulated towards more transportation directors in previous years about maybe someone being under the influence of drugs or alcohol. But really all legal teams are advising that, hey, everybody should have this type of training so that you don't get yourself caught into a unique situation where people weren't following a particular protocol. So I know I've attended that so far, along with Mr. Baker, and every single member of the leadership team, as well as all of our head custodians are signed up for training through the Educational Service Center in Independence throughout the course of this year. And so this will allow key personnel, it'll give them the legal knowledge needed to document objective criteria effectively while mitigating human resources risk and transforming best practice recommendations into concrete district-wide protocols. So I'll pause there. Just hearing any of those types of things. Any other thoughts or questions or anything like that? Okay. All right, and then the last area, really focusing on mindsets and an ongoing commitment to excellence. So starting with a few different book studies, our leadership team, instructional coaches, all administrators have engaged in 2 focused book studies this fall. First was The Power of Moments by Chip and Dan Heath, which was provided through a 3-part series focusing on elevation, insight, and connection, teaching the team how to create powerful, memorable experiences for our students, our staff, and our stakeholders. We followed that with another book by one of the Heath brothers called Reset. And this was a 2-part training while reading the book that gave our building teams a practical framework to address root issues impacting their leadership prowess in their respective buildings. They were able to apply the sense, diagnose, decide, act, and adapt model to collective issues impacting their departments and leading to concrete practical action plans. We even implemented some of those strategies through our MTSS meetings throughout both a PK5 and 612 system. So in closing, this report basically underscores our intentional and strategic commitment to optimizing leadership capabilities at every level. We're building cohesion, expertise, and operating in a clear and transparent fashion that epitomizes the green standard. So I want to extend our deepest gratitude to the entire board, but also to all the administrators, instructional coaches, all of our leadership team who are engaging in all of this work, because it really shows that our leadership team wants to continue to grow and take intentional efforts to continue to get better, to best serve our kids and to best serve our community. So again, I want to say thank you to all the administrators who've been fully invested the entire way. And it's not something that just stops because we're giving an update. You know, we have a ton of different things going on throughout the rest of the year, and this doesn't even include all the different types of groups that we're part of or conferences that we're attending, or things like, you know, OSBA that you guys have, gone to as a board to continue to grow that leadership aspect. But we wanted to give you guys an update on some of the things that happen on the day in and day out that you might not get to see, but to know that it's happening and that we're really trying to drive best practices. So appreciate it. Happy holidays, and as always, go Greenman.
Yeah. Thank you. It is good to know all of this. Appreciate it. All right, that concludes.
That concludes our reports, and then we will turn it over to Mr. Schiraldi for sort of an abbreviated treasurer's report,
Yes.
since we don't have all the financials this month.
Right.
As Dr. Milsitich said, I don't have the full financial packet for approval tonight, but I did want to touch on some points that I've been talking about throughout the year, just to kind of break those down a little bit more. As I've been saying, overall district salaries are trending slightly higher than originally forecasted, mainly due to those heavy amount of severances we had to pay out. But breaking it down a little bit more, certified wages are trending approximately $200,000 less than originally forecasted. I know that's a big number, but at the beginning of this year, we had a lot of changes. We had a lot of retirements, obviously. There were 2 positions we didn't end up replacing, so we did anticipate a reduction in those expenditures. The amount we forecasted might have been a little high just based on, Bill, the previous treasurer, worked on some of it, then I worked on some of it, so I didn't touch some of the stuff he had. So that number might have been a little inflated just due to timing of us both working on it, and the earlier deadline for the forecast this year. So that trend isn't too surprising based on the adjustments that we did make going into this year. Compared to prior year certified salaries and benefit expenses equaled $20,829,000, and current year's projected is expected to be $20,862,000. So a slight increase, but again, that's somewhat expected due to step increases and stuff like that, but staying relatively flat compared to, if those same people would have stayed, those increases would have been a lot higher, so that increase would have been a lot higher. So the savings is there in our projections. You can see where, we didn't have quite as big of an increase as you normally would expect year over year. Classified salaries are trending slightly above forecasted, and compared to prior year, classified salaries are expected to be 200,000 higher. Now, that is also a very high number. Part of that is, I think, in my software system, it was taking the October data, which was a 3-pay month, and kind of analyzing it for the rest of the year, so that number might be slightly inflated, because through October last year, there wasn't a 3-pay month, so those numbers, I expect that to come down a little bit, and kind of normalize out as we go further into the year. Last year, the 3-pay month was in November, so I kind of imagine they'll kind of settle down, and be closer. But compared to our forecast, they are more in line with what we were thinking. So we are on track. It's not, so don't be too scared of that number. It's not abnormal from what we were expecting. And the main factors in that are increases in special instruction, support services, instructional staff, and operations and maintenance. And some of that could be as simple as, some additional overtime, things like that, if we've needed it. So I know we've increased numbers in some paras and stuff as well. So there are some factors that make sense to an increase. So on track with what we expected. Admin salaries are trending slightly below our forecasted amount by approximately 60,000. Not a ton in the grand scheme of things. As Dr. Milsitich says, we run pretty lean in our admin staff. So we've had some changeover there as well. So it makes sense that it's close to about the same, but a slight difference. Nothing too crazy that jumped out at me that made me question why it's trending that way. And then again, other salaries is the largest variance due to the big increase in severances, which we paid out like $400,000, $500,000 in severances, which is abnormal for us. We usually don't have that many people leaving. And a point I want to make, because I've talked about, when I interviewed with you, I've talked about, and something that's an ongoing thing, is our personnel costs are a significant portion of our expenditures. They make up about 87 to 88%, when in a lot of districts, you'll see that closer to, between 80 and 85%. So why are ours so much higher? Well, part of it is because our purchase services are significantly lower than the average school district. In 2025, purchase service as a percentage of operating expenditures, statewide average is about 14.6%. Ours was about 6.39%, so less than half. So where a lot of districts will contract out for services, we tend to do a lot of things in-house with our own people. So we bring in we bring in more people in-house to do things that are contracted out. And we do look at contracting out certain things, but we weigh the cost benefit. We were looking at sub-services, but the expenditure for it just didn't make sense for us. So while we continue to keep a close eye on our personnel costs so they don't run away, there is a reason why ours are a little higher compared to other districts, is because we don't contract out like other districts do. So that's something to keep in mind when we're looking at those percentages as well, is why is it inflated? Just because we do things a little bit differently. Our purchase services are much lower than most school districts tend to do. And we do that purposely because we like to keep a lot of things in-house and do stuff with our own people, which I think is a benefit for a lot of our community and our students and staff. So that was just a brief overview and breakdown of some of those expenditures that I go on and on about, but broken down a little bit more by, certified, classified, and that kind of that significant difference between purchase service and our personnel costs.
Okay, are there any questions?
Do you mind giving an example or two about what are some of the purchase services?
That we do.
One of the most, significant ones that we just looked at recently was our sub-service. So we hire, onboard, train, deploy all of our own subs internally. We did look at outsourcing that through the Northeast Ohio ESC, weighed the pros and cons of that, but ultimately, Maybe it would have helped us have a larger pool of subs, but it also would have probably cost us about $120,000 annually. We decided to keep that in-house. So I think that's probably a prime example, and it's something I've talked to the board about in my updates.
You could also look at like mental health counselors, for example. We put Colleen Dwyer's position in several years ago to working at both Harmon and the high school. And that's something that a lot of districts will outsource to another agency. Whereas, you know, when we think about being relationship driven, we felt like it's best to have that person in-house, part of our staff, connected with our kids. But that's a factor that's going to drive our personnel costs up, and that's going to lead into that 87% or so, as opposed to another district who would outsource that, and that's leading to that being contributed to what the state has close to 14% in those types of services.
And that is, just one more example, and then I have a question for Brian. I heard Mark mouthing it back there. We do have some internal expertise. Jim Miller does our HVAC. We could outsource HVAC services. Mike McLaughlin, or Maintenance Mike as we call him, is our expert maintenance guy. If we didn't have him on staff, we would spend a lot more money. So we have a lot of examples of where we hire somebody, we have that internal expertise. Mr. Schiraldi, I know you and I have talked about this, so when you get to the next forecast, which is not called a 5-year forecast, is on a different timeline these days.
Yeah.
Will we start to see some more accurate information in terms of 2 pays versus 3 pays, and like that severance, will the board be able to see some of those positive things that we've talked about?
Yeah, you'll see it start to, as the year goes on, you kind of see it. The way the forecast system looks is it compares how we're currently performing and the rest of our projections compared to the forecast. So, some of the numbers can look a little funky sometimes, but a lot of times it's just timing. So as we go on through the year, it'll clear up. And February is the next due date for the next forecast. So the forecast is going to be updated with what we're currently doing, what we're currently seeing. So those trends are going to be built into that new forecast, and it'll align with what's actually happening a lot more. And I anticipate those trends to continue, but yeah, so it'll start to clear up, and we'll see a better picture. A lot of those
February.
variances are, yeah.
Okay, anything else? All right, well, thank you for that. We approved the December numbers in January?
Yes, I will have the December and January report at the regular January meeting. I apologize, I didn't have it tonight. Some of the statements just don't come in for a while, so
Early, I know.
by the time we got the packet to you, I didn't want to give you something half-baked.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to new business. We have Exhibit E1A, which is a resolution to accept gifts and contributions. May I have a motion, please?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mrs. Click?
Yes.
Mr. Akam?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes.
Mrs. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Sobolski?
Okay, without objection, I'll take the 9 personnel resolutions together. I'll read through them first. Exhibit E1B1 is a resolution to accept resignations and retirements. Exhibit E1B2 is a resolution to approve the introductory appointment of support staff. Exhibit E1B3 is a resolution to employ licensed substitute teachers for this school year. Exhibit E1B4 is a resolution to award a supplemental activity contract to non-district personnel, non-district. Exhibit E1B5 is a resolution to employ a long-term substitute teacher for this school year. Exhibit E1B6 is a resolution to employ support staff substitutes for this school year. Exhibit E1B7 is a resolution to ratify the agreement between the Aurora Board of Education and the Ohio Association of Public School Employees. Exhibit E1B8 is a resolution to employ a building substitute teacher for this school year. And Exhibit E1B9 is a resolution to correct an employee specialist start date. May I have a motion for approval?
Second.
Are there any comments or questions about any of those resolutions? All right, Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mrs. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes.
Mr. Akam?
Yes.
Mrs. Click?
Yes.
Mr. Sobolski?
All right, all those resolutions are approved. Exhibit E1C is a resolution to approve the 2026-27 Program of Studies as presented to us last month. May I have a motion, please, for approval?
So moved.
Are there any comments or questions? All right, Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mr. Sobolski? Mrs. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes.
Mr. Akam?
Yes.
Mrs. Click?
Yes.
All right, the program of studies is approved. Exhibit E1D is a resolution to approve emergency school closing on December 2nd. May I have a motion, please? Chair seconds. Any comments or questions? Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mr. Sobolski? Mrs. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes.
Mr. Akam?
Yes.
Mrs. Click?
All right, and then on to board items. We have Exhibit F1, which is a resolution to set the date for our organizational meeting. May I have a motion, please? Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mrs. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Sobolski? Mr. Akam?
Yes.
Mrs. Click?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes. And Exhibit F2 is to nominate a President Pro Tem. Mr. Schiraldi?
Yes, I, Brian Schiraldi, Treasurer, call for nominations for President Pro Tem.
All right, I nominate Jennifer Click.
Second.
There being no further nominations, do I have a motion? Sorry, I'm just reading this as is.
Yeah, I know.
So you,
Do we need a motion?
yes.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Second.
Okay, so now call the roll? I thought we did that when Mr. Akam seconded it, but whatever. Now we're covered, so go ahead and call the roll.
Okay. Mr. Sobolski?
Yes.
Mr. Akam?
Yes.
Mrs. Click? Mrs. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes. All right, so we have someone in place, thank you. And now it's time to bid Mr. Sobolski farewell. We thank you for your, was it 8 years of leadership and commitment to our district, and you'll be missed, and we thank you. Something?
Yeah, I would just echo that, and thank you, Steve, for your service the last 8 years to the district, to the students, staff, our administrative team. We appreciate that, and all the work and time and energy you put in. Being a board member is not always full of glory, and there's a lot of time that's committed behind the scenes. So obviously, we appreciate the entire board, but appreciate your 8 years of service, and wish you the best of luck with whatever you decide to do next with that extra time.
Yes, wish you all the best.
8 years, correct? Yeah. That's all. I think 8 years is a pretty good amount of time.
Are there any other board items? All right, then could I please have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.